but Goddy. So today we are going to look beyond sightseeing and we are going to ask very important questions. And we'll be looking at education. If you're wondering what does education have to do, or what has education got to do with tourism and culture, but there's a lot. And I have a very beautiful, funky, chic, delicious lady here to unpack that conversation. So we'll go for a quick break. We come back, we dive right into it. This is Roots and Routes on Z101.9 FM. Please.
Saturday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Tell everybody, tell everybody. Saturday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Tell everybody, tell everybody.
You're tuned in to Z 101.9 FM, your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio.
Into the future with you, I'm not gonna leave you at the end of the road. Give me your love and you know it's safe. Baby, never listen to what them say. Into the future with you, I'm not gonna leave you at the end of the road. Give me your love and you know it's safe. Baby, never listen to what them say. Me give her something with the sweet and ginger. She never get it mad and see. Cause she come here every man, he say she tired of the mac and cheese. One thing more of the geezer. But I want and touch and she already fainting. All them time we be participating. She never know what I'm anticipating. The mission is hard for the taking. Me I watch you long time. I just see you for dream. You know be one time. Baby I want to go into the future with you. I'm not gonna leave you at the end of the road. Give me your love and you know it's safe. Baby never listen to what them say. Person, I go love you better than you a blessing. Physically you a fit, your thing amazing. Now look further down with the searching. Me I watch you long time. I just see you for dream. You know be one time. Baby I want to go into the future with you. I'm not gonna leave you at the end of the road. Give me your love and you know it's safe. Baby never listen to what them say. Into the future with you. I'm not gonna leave you at the end of the road. Give me your love and you know it's safe. Baby, never listen to what them say. Naga, 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 leave you, girl. Send me yaga, me yaga. Me, I'm gonna be your word.
Okay, you're welcome back to Roots and Routes. My name is Rebecca Abuaje. There's a song going to play right about now, and that song is dedicated to the Black Stars of Ghana, the national team of the Republic of Ghana. I want to say concerning our interesting performance at the World Cup. So I think this song carries all of what I in my heart right now. And I'm sure thousands of, in fact, millions of other Ghanaians feel the same way. Anyway, please, you're welcome back to Roots and Routes on Z101.9 FM. And you can join the conversation on our WhatsApp line 0544321019. I take that again, 0544321019. Or connect with us on our social media handles. That's ZFMGH on Instagram, Facebook, X, or Z Multimedia, I beg your pardon, on YouTube. So, today, like I said earlier, we're going to look beyond sightseeing and ask very important questions on how education can be a form of tourism. Because remember that every year we have thousands of students cross borders, not just to earn degrees, but to immerse themselves in culture, build global networks, and contribute to local economies. So this movement is known as academic mobility and is very important in transforming the lives and creating opportunities for both the host countries and the home countries that these students or individuals are emigrating from. So today our topic on Roots 101.9 FM is Beyond the Classroom, the impact of study abroad programs and academic mobility on tourism and development. And joining me to unpack this conversation is a very fine woman. At least the sight of her is making me forget the heartbreak I had earlier this dawn. Her name is Esther Priscilla Dominic, and she is the programs director for the School of International Training. Esther, you're welcome to Roots and Routes.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
See you too. So, Esther, do you want to talk about the Black Stars, or should we just move into the conversation?
That is heartbreaking. That will make me fall sick. I'm not yet sick, and I'm grateful for that. That's because I didn't watch the match.
At least, Esther, let's go on it. Anyway, so tell us a little about yourself and what inspired you to work in international education.
What inspired? I generally, I love traveling. I love to go, and I'm adventurous. I like to go climb mountains. I like to see talk to new people. I'm inquisitive. So I think that is why I went into this. I don't think there's any special thing, the reason why I went, but maybe that's special too, I guess. And what I do, so we work under a larger group called the World Learning Incorporated.
Okay.
And we are about 60 years now
Oh, wow.
in the world. We are in a lot of countries, probably over 30 countries around the world, doing study abroad. And in Ghana, we work under the World Learning. There are a lot of study abroad programs, but the main program in Ghana is SIT Ghana, which is a School for International Training Ghana. And then as part of our model of education, our model is an experiential model.
Okay.
So we do a lot of field, right? We go and then we travel to places and we see places. And then we also work under thematic areas. So we work under 3 major thematic areas, which is cultural legacies, Afro-Chic, and globalization. That's what we do in Ghana. In Switzerland, they do banking systems. In South Africa, they do apartheid and something else. But in Ghana, that is what we do. Cultural legacies, Afro-Chic, and then globalization. As part of the module, we don't like to leave Ghana at Accra. Accra is too small. Accra is not Ghana.
No, Accra is not Ghana. Although say Accra, Ghana.
Yeah, but Accra, once you land, you think that is Ghana.
Yeah.
So to make our program more of a true study abroad program, and due to the thematic areas that we have, and Ghana being a hotspot for heritage tourism, we take students across the country to look for research areas where they can do research on, so that they don't end up doing all of their research doesn't end up being in
Just
Accra.
localized,
Yes,
yeah.
so we take them, we go all the way to the northern border, tracing slave routes, and we come all the way down. We go to Kumasi as the cultural hub of the country. We immerse them in culture as much as we can. And we have them visit homestays and live with homestays and do independent projects on their own. So they can choose to travel wherever, depending on where they choose to do their research, and then they do their research. And we facilitate that. So that is what I have been doing for almost 5 years now.
Wonderful.
Yeah. It's been interesting, and I enjoy it. I
You
enjoy
look
the
like
academic
you
space.
should see how you flow with it. It looks like it's something you're totally are passionate about. And I mean, that's why we have you here on the show, because individuals like you are projecting Ghana in different forms. And Dr. Solomon has his amazing tour guide experience that he does, and then there's you taking it through the educational routes. So some good work you're doing there. So for listeners hearing the term for the first time, how would you break academic mobility down, in very simple terms?
It's just students and lecturers going up and down and learning things from
that.
different places.
Students and lecturers going
Up and down, up and down. They just go up and down and then learn things from different places. It's academic and mobility. In academia, we have students and we have lecturers. We have teachers and students, and then they travel up and down, and then they mobility, moving, and then gathering information from different places.
I think the term it's explains itself anyway. So now let's connect it to tourism. Many people do not think students as tourists. So in what ways do you think international students contribute to tourism?
Oh, they do a lot, actually. So for heritage tourism generally, it's a very hot spot right now. And despite it's being under a larger area of heritage, there are areas in physics, areas in chemistry, areas in other subject areas that people find in that place. And so when you have somebody coming all the way from wherever it is they're coming from to come and sit in the classroom, I'm connecting it to the model that we use.
Right.
Using an experiential learning model, you end up moving from site to site. You end up, immersing yourself in culture. You end up going sightseeing. You end up visiting places, moving from Accra to Kumasi so that is how that thing works. And it's not, you wouldn't, if you look at it on face value, the first thing you say is you're a tourist. That's what every Ghanaian says.
Right.
So when they see me, they say, you're a tour guide.
Yes.
Even my family, I think most of them still think I'm a tour guide, and I'm just... So in a way, in that way, we are tourists.
Yeah.
All of the academics who come here and the students who come here on these programs, especially my program, are tourists before they are anything else. Because they come to see the country.
Right.
They come to see Ghana at night. They come to see, I heard there are castles. I hear Kumasi, they have really huge funerals. I want to go to a funeral in Kumasi to see what it is like. And when they get to that field, then they begin to tease out problems to solve. They begin to analyze the culture with the academic lens and everything. They begin to, so in a way, it's not mutually exclusive. I think everything is just blends together. And that brings in revenue.
Right.
Because if a student from my program coming from the United States decides to visit the Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum, she will pay a fee as a tourist. She wouldn't pay a fee as exactly. So they are tourists first before they are anything else.
Okay.
Yeah, and it enters the revenue stream. So yeah.
So when students are prepping, or when your organization is prepping to receive students, are there particular areas of interest that run through, common areas of interest that run through that most people, I'm receiving fees, and maybe over the past 5 years of doing this seems to be like a common theme or reasons that most students or most international students want to visit. Can you share those insights with us?
Of course, it depends, because it depends. Is that the right word? I don't know. But from time to time, the more you do this, the younger the group that you receive.
Okay.
Yes, and the more Ghana is tuned in a certain way, with the more different, the more varied the things that go out there into the media. So
that's interesting. Let's unpack this.
So maybe 2018, let me start from 2021. 2021, 2022-ish, most people will come for the slave castles and stuff like that. Then fast forward 2023, 2024, the people are like more of the dirty December.
Yeah.
Because they are younger.
Yeah.
You see, and right now they are coming back because the semester ends before the December pushes. So they come with that. You see, they come with that mindset. And festivals are tourist attraction.
Absolutely.
So Dirty December is a mass festival, right? So they come for that. They hear that, oh, Ghanaians are this, Ghanaians are that. Then, so that's the difference. So as the age difference reduces, as the differences between the ages also determines what they come to look out for. So Ghana is attractive because, one, of heritage. They hear about the castles, you know. The first group comes and they go back and then they tell people about, oh, you know, we went and we saw the actual place where this, that, and the third happened. Or we went and then we went to the river where, you know, enslaved people had their last bath. And this is so real. This is so real. We saw the chains and we saw this. Then there is this group of people who are interested. And then they come. Then they have the other ones who come and say, oh, when we went to Ghana, we partied so hard. And then it was 9 a.m. and we didn't know. We were in the club and it was so fun. And so the other person also wants to come because I from what they say, the economy is back to back where they are. So this is like a breath of fresh air. So usually those are the entries. But once they enter, then they want to know more. And then things pique their interest. And then they start to see things they are interested in because the algorithm, you're in Ghana, so you start seeing more Ghanaian things and then you want to do more stuff. So, yeah, the interest, there is no strong, you know, but the one that has stood out for me is the food. Usually gobe, they like beans, they like gobe, and then peanut butter soup. It's you know, they hear and jollof. Though the wars are still going on, it fights a strong war.
Oh, we all know who the winner is anyway.
Yeah, we are strong army. And that's too.
So I'm certain you partner with other educational institutions here, the tertiary institutions, non-tertiary institutions, but still in academia. Do you think that they are capitalizing on or leveraging on the full benefits of these influx of international students coming in?
The academic institutions, fortunately or unfortunately for my institution, we are like an academic institution. We have a graduate institution on its own.
Right.
But what we do when we come here is that we pick competent lecturers from, you know, all over. So we can have a lecturer from Kumasi, we can have a lecturer from the University of Ghana, we can have a lecturer from Ashesi. Those are the things we have.
Right.
Depending on, if you're looking at popular culture, we have somebody from Ashesi because they have the first popular culture center in West Africa, I believe. So we bring somebody from there and stuff like that. But if it comes to understanding the benefit that tourism can bring to academia and the partnerships that can be made through that, I don't believe that we are exhausting it. Yeah, we are taking advantage of it as much as possible, because if you look at the statistics globally, we are one of the fastest growing countries in terms of heritage tourism and other, you know, even in the sub-Saharan region in itself, even in Africa as a whole. I saw South Africa and maybe Zanzibar and the other places. Ghana is really catching up fast, and it's up to time that we begin to put educational structures in place that will support partnerships, because most of these people that come in here, I have a number of students who come in and start a research and then go and get funding and come back. Exactly. So we had a student who did research on the Kayayes at Medina Market on welfare and stuff like that. And then she went and she got funding and she came back. We had a student who did research on education in Zulezo. And this was a trip we just went for, and that's what she saw. After the conversation with people, she was interested in how education and things works there. And so she went to live in Zulezo for a whole month, and then she worked. Then when she went back, she sent her research. Wouldn't it be beautiful to have a Ghanaian on this team?
I was about to ask a follow-up question. So you receive, do you send?
No, we don't send. But one thing we do is we add.
That was my next question.
We don't send, we add.
Okay.
So on every group that we bring, we tend to add a number of Ghanaian university students so that they get to experience it as well. Because there are Ghanaians who think Ghana is also Accra, unfortunately.
I will not argue that facts with you. I won't argue. I know a lot of people who think this is all of Ghana and haven't gone beyond the borders of the city. Yeah, I won't dispute that fact. So we are having a very interesting conversation here on Z101.9 FM. The show is Roots and Routes, and I have the very beautiful Esther Pesula Dominic, and she is the programs director of the School for International Training. And today we are unpacking how study abroad programs and academic mobility on tourism and development. So we are getting into all of that conversation. Please feel free to join us on our WhatsApp line 0544321019. You perhaps may have some questions. If you're interested, if you're a student listening to us, you may be interested in studying abroad, or you want to get into travel, meeting other international students, know how. I'm sure you have that.
We do open for interviews to get Ghanaian students on board.
Yes.
So yes, we do open. So when the period opens, we reach out and then we get Ghanaian students to join the group. Yeah.
So I think it's a good opportunity to join.
You don't have to be in tourism education to join.
Exactly. And it's even a good opportunity to learn. To exchange opinions, perspectives, cultures. So if you're part of the programs that they run, you definitely will meet people. So if you're sitting at home, it's like, oh, I want to have a friend here. I want to build my network, expand my contacts. I think it's a good opportunity too. So,
or you just want to learn more about your country. Exactly.
That's a good one, because a lot of youngsters do not know anything beyond Kakum National Park or maybe Aqua Safari or Safari Valley. Okay, anyway, so is that 101.9 FM? We take a quick break. Should we still play or that me, or I should forgive them? Producer, let's play one more time. Medofa Dadame. Anyway, this song is by Irama Bedu, and she's one of Ghana's first female high life stars to achieve national fame in the music industry. And before becoming solo, she performed with the Ghana Police Band, where she developed her musical career. She was born in 1945 in Bangkok, in the Ashanti region. So one of her biggest hits is Medofo Adadame. This is dedicated to the Ghana Black Stars once again.
Seninya mia bua manen sake kakra Wasimenko Fise, if you are not the Anissa came, Mitty Bonindi, Nasa Finessa. Ah, oh, we are seeing of when you
Anyway, still Z101.9 FM. This is Roots and Routes, and that was a very interesting. I don't know if it's the right song for this time from Irama Bedru, and the song title is Odo Medofo Adadame. But we are still here with Priscilla. Why are you laughing?
Dada, Black Stars,
Black Stars,
Dada, Wakumate.
So I'm still here with Esther Priscilla Dominic, and she is the programs director for the School for International Training and
For the IHPDDP. That's
For
a
the
long
IH
explanation. But yeah.
for the IH
PDDP program
for
for
the
the School of.
IHPDDP program. And what's the full meaning?
It's an independent program on death and dying. So we study death and dying in Ghana. Yeah.
I think we should have another conversation on that. Esther will be coming back on the show because she's brought something else up.
Yeah, so we go to funerals in Ghana and we dance for the people. Yeah. That's just one of the programs, and
You
then
have
I
brought
have
yourself.
other roles on other programs
Esther,
as well.
You have brought yourself.
Take me
We're
away.
going to have you here again
Famiko.
to discuss funeral tourism because it seems like one of the and fun facts from me about me. The first time I visited Kumasi, that was my first cultural shock.
Oh, it's lovely.
It was my first culture shock. I dare to say the number of commercial billboards dedicated to funerals outweighed or outnumbered the ones dedicated to business.
Of course. It's a big economy.
Drove through Kumasi. I was driven through Kumasi, and my mouth was like, I'm talking massive billboards.
That's why we call it DDP, because when we say death and dying, death is seen as a very, mysterious thing here. We try to demystify it a bit. So, yeah.
And I was told that have a wedding, you may not have so many people contributing, to you or gifting you money and all that, but have a funeral.
Big profits are made from funerals. People invest in them and make
Wow.
profits at the end, actually,
Wow.
in the Kumasi area. It's a
I don't
big
want us
business.
to digress. We'll have this conversation proper. But quick fun facts on the topic we are discussing today, and that is beyond the classroom, the impact of study abroad programs and academic mobility on tourism and development. So some quick fun facts. So international students don't only pay tuition, they also spend on accommodation, transport, food, entertainment, and local travel, making them important to contributors to local economy. So I'm very certain there are seasons when you have the influx of international students and Airbnbs are packed, hostels are packed, apartment buildings are busy, especially towards the December season.
Right now, I think it's throughout the year.
Okay.
Yeah, it's throughout the year because right now throughout the year I'm working, so it means it's throughout the year.
More money.
Yeah, so
What did the Gen Z? Clark
it. We pray so. So we have the semester program where they come, when the semester begins, the fall semester and the spring semester.
Yeah.
That is, they have those ones. Then they have the summer programs
Yeah.
where they come for short programs for like 3 weeks. Then we have training programs, So now throughout the year,
It's busy.
yeah, throughout the year it's going. Yeah, especially this period in your year, there is summer vacation, right? There are students who are here for the summer to do the summer celebrations, and there are also people who are here for summer, how do they call it? Programs,
Yeah.
summer study
So
abroad
it means
programs.
if you're a business and you have international students or foreigners basically patronizing your services or your products, do not think, it's the season is no. They are from Esther. She's a professional. They are in the country all year long.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So another fact is that students studying abroad often become lifelong ambassadors to the countries they live in. Returning later as tourists or recommending those destinations to friends and families.
just give them good food.
Yeah.
They
And
come back.
some good vibes and
Yeah.
they're good to go.
Yeah.
So many study abroad, and I think Esther unpacked that for us earlier. So many study abroad programs include community service, internships, language learning, and cultural immersion, not just classroom learning. And Do you realize? I won't call it a trend, but if you're on TikTok, you see some of these foreigners, cooking meals, or you have them, creating content, even when they are not in the country. Like there's this particular man and his wife. I don't know if you've seen them.
Oh, we have a lot of those. They fail they fail the first couple of times, but then they do take the recipes along. And we have an in-house cook at my place. She's always teaching somebody how to cook. Somebody is always booking a session to come and learn beans, how to cook gobe, how to cook jollof, or how to cook granite soup.
The language, they seem to
they love it.
really love it.
From the airport, once they read Akwaba, they love it. They love they want to learn.
Wow. Now let's look at other areas to discuss. Okay, I think you've already mentioned that Ghana is one of the
fastest growing.
and it's a hub for receiving these students because of the heritage culture. Now, what do you think we can do more to sustain? And in light of this, as we are receiving them, what can we take from them? Not just money, not just they patronize them. What can we take from them to strengthen what we already have here, to encourage others to go learn and then bring back to the country?
What can we do more, and what can we take from them?
Yeah,
there's a lot we could do, honestly, if you ask me. Right now, I like to give scenarios. Right now, if you're traveling to Cape Coast is one of the hottest heritage tourism hubs. Unfortunately or fortunately, there are a lot of other sites across. But it takes you about 6 hours to get to Cape Coast now because the roads are terrible. The roads are terrible. All of my back will hurt. And then I have to keep telling my students this is a natural massage. And then we also don't curate the experiences. We don't like to do that a lot. So we let them see it as it is.
Yes.
So that because it's research, authentic, you don't want skewed answers. You don't want exactly. So we try to leave it as it is so that it can. And the roads are not helping. From Accra to Cape Coast is not helping. From Accra to Kumasi is not helping. From Cape Coast to Takrady it's not helping. It's at every point. If you're going to the north from Swame going to Techima, from Swame to after Buonho down, the roads are also under construction. So, and now within the rains in this period, the problem have always been traveling.
In fact, the rains will always expose the quality and nature of the roads that we have. The rains always expose. So maybe in the dry season, it looked like the asphalt is all tight and compact, and then a couple of pour downs, and you see these are not
we have manholes.
These are manholes.
Yeah.
No,
go inside and then you come
out. These are drainages. These are gutters, literally. And then we suffer the consequence of it later. Like on Monday, this past Monday, what happened? Lives were lost, and I'm told that death toll
they are still recovering
taking
bodies.
out people, finding people. So there's a humble plea to not just the government, even contractors that are hired to do the work. Think about lives, the possible lives that may be lost if your work isn't done well. And then most importantly, to us, the Ghanaians, at the end of the day, the government will do what they can do. And I always tell people, do not put your thinking and hopes on the fact that the government will come and do something for you. The government is doing what they can.
We are government.
We are the government. They are doing what they can. But at the end of the day, it's really dependent on our attitude and our actions to do the right thing, to support whatever efforts the government is putting in. And at this point, please join the conversation on our WhatsApp line 0544321019, or you can call in on 0303956641, or you can join us on our social media handles, ZFMGH on Facebook, Instagram, and X, or Z Multimedia on YouTube and on TikTok as well. So I'll be waiting for your messages. So Esther, we were talking about what we can give and then what we can take.
That's it. Then there are certain sites that have been abandoned. So there is this little village up north called Sakli. It's on the way from Tamale to the Bolaga side, and it's deep down there. It's a place where they are farmers predominantly. This is a place that's like Salaga.
Okay.
You see, they have wells. and these places where enslaved people were kept. But if you go there now, there's nobody to tell the story.
Abandoned.
Oh, almost abandoned. Let me not say abandoned, because you find they try to find somebody, because because it's a very very a community that's not very well to do. The little things that they can get,
Yeah.
and people don't even know that there is a place like that there. And so the first time we went there, it was like the story had a lot of like potholes and
Yes.
everything.
That's
So exactly. So it wasn't coming together. And the good thing about it is that we try to let the students, so this is the reality on the ground. This is what is happening to the history. This is what is going on. After was it UNESCO? It became a UNESCO heritage site.
and that was it.
That was it. The signboard is there.
But
very-
nothing is going on.
Exactly. Some of the wells are being covered. It doesn't look as good. Even for Salaga, if you go to the Salaga slave market, there is a debate about whether these sites should be kept or not. But as a people whose heritage is usually told by mouth, this is the evidence for me. So it has to be kept in
As
a
it is
way,
here, yeah.
yes, that can tell the story as the narrator is narrating it, because it's very oral. And very oral, it's very easy for you to assume that it's like a folk tale or something that
Yes.
no,
And
but
so as it's passed on from generation to generation, definitely some will be left out, some will be added.
So the first time I went to Salaga, that's like 2021-ish. Yeah, I think so. Maybe. Yeah. We had to struggle to find a grown-up to tell the story. And some of the shackles and things that had been used during the time were kept in an abandoned room somewhere. The whole slave marketplace have now been turned into a marketplace, and stores are being erected.
That should tell the actual state of even education in the thing, because it means that these things have never been documented.
No.
Or even if there was
There's no interest.
there's no interest, maybe some surface story about it, but the core of it, the people haven't been able to document it.
So I think the Ghana Tourism Association can do better.
Yeah, they have a lot of work
I
to
think
do.
they can do better. I think
Yeah.
they're doing well, but they can do better. That's one of those things. So it's gradually, some of these places are gradually being lost, and you understand. But if these roads are made well to go to these places, then these places will also help the economy, because
Right.
that's somewhere revenue can come from. That's somewhere that adds to your history, and then it fills the gap in research. You understand? Then we know what we are doing moving forward.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I feel we can do as well, looking at those places. Then there is the whole focus on Cape Coast. I love Cape Coast. There's a lot of history in Cape Coast. There are a lot of stories in Cape Coast. But I think the same attention should also be going
Right.
to these other places,
Yeah.
because the history when it comes to heritage, there is some in the south, there's some in the Volta region, there is some in the north, there is some
There's
in the
so
eastern
much,
region.
yes.
Yeah, there is some right here. And the more we abandon these places, the more the stories get lost.
Especially in this age of fast media consumption.
It gets lost. And so then next 10 years, what should you be telling your people, your children? What do you know about your heritage? Whether it's sad or it's better or something, I have always been on the conviction that to move forward in the right direction, you have to know what happened behind you,
Right.
so that you don't go and step into the same pits that your father stepped into. So
Right.
there is a need to maintain such spaces. So yeah.
I work in the records and documents management, industry, and when it comes to documents management, records keeping, archiving, Ghana has a long way
How
to
many
go.
people even when they give them archiving in university? How many people want to do archiving?
Long way, and it's because we always say, "Oh, these are papers. Put them here. Put them here." But you see, like you rightly said, to be informed of, to know what the future will be like, or
To have control over certain things in
you
the
need to
future.
know what was in the past.
Exactly.
And what was in the past will inform you what to do now to secure the future. And we do really have a long way to go when it comes to archive and records management. And it cuts across, because if these things are not being documented. Even when they are documented, how are they being stored? How are they being, kept? And in what state are they even being kept? We'll get there.
Small.
Okay, so as you're wrapping up, tell me, Esther, is there a story from your work that perfectly illustrates the power of study abroad?
Oh yeah, I think I have even narrated a couple of them. We have the student who did the KIA job.
Yes, you mentioned that.
She now works in Ghana with an organization, an NGO in Ghana, and she's been working on research in partnership with that NGO for a long time. She loves it here. She has not only come to take up space, she has come to contribute her quota, which is beautiful for me. I feel like partnerships like this really helps enhance the industry for us, where we can partner with other people who have the resources, because whether we like it or not, America is 200 and something years old. We are, I hate to say, but we are only 50 or 69, very young, you understand? So we need all the help we can get, as we are doing for ourselves. It's not bad to bring an outsider to give it perspective, to make it, whether we like it or not, the world is a global village and everywhere is close as much as it's far apart. Whether we like it or not, culture will intertwine, and things would happen. And even now, more so that people are looking for their roots and trying, diasporans are coming to find whatever it is. We get to trace heritage from inside out, which is very important. Exactly. Looking at the France team per se, we get to trace heritage from inside out. So you see, so we pull our people in. Exactly. In 2050, Africa will not be what it is now. In 2050, the projections and economic development and then human resource and it's going very, very. It's going to be wild. Nigeria is going to be flying. Ghana is going to be everywhere. And this is where the money is going to be. So partnering with these people help to develop it.
Because they bring a perspective that we often take for granted.
Just like we go there and send perspectives that they also look at. We should also try enough not to just see them as stories, not to just see them as, I dare you 50 brony, but dollar cry saying, me toma 200 and no. That one, it ends there. You spend that money ever son. Let's look at the long-lasting relationship, like the young lady who went to Nzolezo and then worked on their education system and came back. We have even a Ghanaian pharmacist who did research who tried to look at the health situation there and just even help them with first aid.
That's so much to leverage
exactly.
on. So much to leverage
So
on.
these things, this is what it can do. This is what, when it comes to tourism, academia can blend with the tourism in itself to how it can support the nation. Aside putting the economic benefits, the flight tickets, the paying for hotels, the accommodation, food, the tipping culture. America is especially, they have a very good tipping culture because their tipping I hear is something else. So when they come, the tipping they come on. You understand? Aside all of those things, let us look at the things that make us grow.
Right.
These are the partnerships that will grow our sector. These are the partnerships that will put us at maybe at par with Spain and the other countries in Europe who are, far ahead in tourism. Some of these partnerships helps bring in funds because every day we go, even at Aseman, so you see small kids asking for money and everything. These partnerships can, in a way or something, identify that as a problem and then bring a solution from not outside but from within. With
absolutely
exactly.
So maybe on a bigger platform, governments may never even send aid or developmental projects to these areas.
Exactly.
You have one foreign student come in, they see this community lacks A, B, C, D, the potentials are high, they go back, talk to a couple of investors, they come in, work with the paper, and then that's how
that's why you need a local, because when you put in a local within that space, the local knows what the problem is. There's a story that says, quickly, there's a story that says that there was this community where the woman used to walk 1,000 miles to fetch water. And then when the outsiders came, they thought, oh, what they needed was a well. And they dug a well. And the woman still went 1,000 miles to fetch water. Because why? It was there that they could have conversations outside of their home, talk about their husbands. Now you come and build a world in the community. How
So
would
they
they?
need a break.
Yeah,
you?
exactly. It will take a local to tell you that,
Right.
so that they don't come and try to fix square pegs into
No,
round
so maybe
holes.
the roads to that area can be, I think it's parity, and then understanding what the need is.
And it will take a local. That's why
Right.
even if it is an outside entity, we need locals to partner with them. We need to be more invested in these things. We don't always have to be here to receive aid. We have to be part of that aid and how it functions, so that it's not like they threw money on you.
Exactly.
It's like you used the money, you understand, for what it was supposed to use for. I think that's it. And a lot of other things. We could go on and on and on.
We are definitely going to have a part 2, especially on funeral tourism.
Kumase encore.
I look forward to this conversation. Thank you so much, Esther Priscilla Dominic. Esther Priscilla Dominic is the programs director for the School for International Training,
IHPDDP program.
IHPDDP program. Thank you so much for joining us on Roots and Routes. And to my listeners, as we've heard today, study abroad is not just about earning a qualification in a foreign country. It's about cultural understanding, global citizenship, economic opportunity, and building long-lasting connections across borders. So when students travel to learn, they also help strengthen tourism, communities, and international relationships. So a big thank you to you once more, and thank you to our listeners for joining in on your favorite afternoon tourism and heritage and cultural program, Roots and Routes. So until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and remember that every journey, whether for study or leisure, has the power to transform your life. So have a very good afternoon. Please stay safe. We are not out of the woods when it comes to the weather. Make sure you keep warm. Make sure you're eating hot food as well, because the aftermath of such floods usually has a lot of health implications. So make sure you're keeping safe. You're washing your hands. You're eating a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables and having enough rest. So I'll see you same time next week on Roots and Routes. Producer, should we end with Ofa Dadame? No, producer says no. So what song do you want to end with? So tell me. Out to peace with the vibes. I'll see you next week.
Yo, see my team, we are the baddest. Coming in, me, I know they see nobody have it.